Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I did an experiment. Martin, the bot, versus Magnus Carlsen's bot, but Magnus Carlsen's bot only has a queen. And this is exactly how it went. So it started E2, King E2 for Magnus, E6 for Martin, King D3 for Magnus, H5. Martin's just pushing some pawns, nothing too exciting. Magnus moves his queen to C1, just shuffling pieces. And now Martin gets his queen out with queen H4. You see, when I saw this, I got a little bit scared for Martin because the sooner your queen's out, the quicker you can blunder it. After this, Magnus went queen E3. And then Martin played knight h6, which is the best move, which surprises me. And then king e5 was played, and this was kind of the start of impending doom with this queen placement for Martin. Knight f5 was played, getting the knight into the game. I like it. You can try and trade queens here. Sure, you lose a piece, but they have no chance of winning. King c2. And Martin plays queen e4 check, blundering the queen. Wow. So Magnus has got his queen. Rook h6 is played. Queen slides back to queen h1. Check, knight d4. King d3 is played, and the knight moves to f3, which again is just hanging a piece. But Magnus doesn't take it. He goes king e4, check, f5, and he takes the knight with his king. So as we can see on the eval bar, it is now 9.1 in favor, which for Martin is basically a draw. a5 is played, queen h2 is played. Just pushing a pawn, just giving it up. But actually, if Magnus had taken, check, skewering. So obviously Magnus didn't take, he went queen a2. Martin develops knight c6, best move, because Martin's just the greatest to ever do it. Magnus just shuffling his queen. He goes, oh, and back here, I guess the queen could have just taken, but then again, just pinned. So now, whoa, queen g2 was played with his queen by Magnus. Knight e5 check by Martin, and Magnus took the pawn on f4. 9.2 advantage. Magnus now has 13 points of material. Martin's only up only up plus 17. And now the bishop goes to b4, and what does that blunder? A knight. Magnus now has obtained 16 points of material. Check is played with d6. Magnus's king runs back to e4. The pawn moves up. Now the rook is now defending it. It was a hanging pawn, so g6 is played. And Magnus just moves his king to f3. d5 is played by Martin. Just shuffling of pieces here, really. Queen f1. Bishop d2. And now Magnus threatens the bishop with queen d1. The bishop does not move. Martin takes it. Well, I guess a bishop did move. It's just the wrong one, as he went bishop d7. And Magnus takes with his queen on d2. The rook is now hanging. e5 is played. The rook is captured. It's only 5.2 plus 6 material. a7. Magnus converted this excellently. Takes g6 with check. The king goes back to d8. Check with the check with the queen on f6. If he had of say gone here, just mate. I was confused because the eval bar took forever. But instead, he goes king e8, which blundered. Queen takes e5 check. Well, it didn't blunder, but like, he blundered way back. King d8, and now it's a huge advantage. Check with the queen, and I'm sure you guys can see what's going to happen. Obviously, he can't play queen c8 for the same reason. Back rank. He has to go king e8, and now Magnus plays queen e3 check, but also we now realize why rook a7 was such a blunder, because it's now a fork. So king d8 was played, and Magnus takes the rook. Check with the bishop by Martin. Bishop g4, protected by the pawn, and look at the eval. Magnus is up in material. Martin, wow. Magnus just moves his king to f4. Martin drops his bishop back, or did I say Martin? Magnus moves his king to f4. Martin drops his bishop back to d7. Magnus takes the free pawn on b7. And the bishop just goes to h3 for the sake of the game. Queen takes d5 check is played. The king runs to e7. And Martin scoops up another free pawn with queen takes h5. And Martin just moves the king, no regard for leaving his bishop unattended, and Magnus captures it with check on h3. It is now 2 pawns versus a queen. This is not going to end well. 33 moves into the game, and there's mate in the evaluation of the side that started with only a queen. And Magnus, being Magnus, will find this mate as he will go queen c8 check, king moves up to e7, king e5, cutting off the king from running, king f7, king f5, same idea, king g7, takes with check, forces him on the back rank, and king g6, not much you can do, h8, and Magnus Carlsen checkmates Martin on d8 with his queen. It took 39 moves for Magnus to win from this position. Why is the eval bar equal? Anyway, that's how long it took. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't mess with Magnus. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.